Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and you're still on the Cairo local time. And following a series of high-level communications between Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdel Ati and the Palestinian leadership and international representatives, the focus has shifted toward the implementation of the phase 2 of the current peace framework. And joining us to discuss the implications of these talks, Ambassador Raouf Saad, the former Assistant Foreign Minister. A very good evening to you, Ambassador Raouf. Hello? Hello? Your Excellency, do you hear me? Hello? Okay, maybe there is a technical issue now concerning what we were talking about, that following a series of high-level communication between Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdel Ati and the Palestinian leadership and international representatives, the focus has been shifted toward the implementation of phase 2 of the current peace framework. And regarding this issue, the Minister Abdel Ati has emphasized the regional escalation must not distract from Palestinian cause. The minister also called for the full implementation of all requirements of the second phase of the US peace plan from an operational standpoint. And also the Minister Abdel Ati spoke with Nicolas Maldonado. And joining us now, Ambassador Raouf Saad, to talk more about this issue, the former Assistant Foreign Minister. Welcome, Ambassador Raouf.
Well, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. It's a pleasure having you on Cairo local time.
You just tell me about the issue, and a bit of details, because
yes,
I haven't heard.
Ambassador Raouf, the Minister Abdel Ati has emphasized the regional escalation must not distract from the Palestinian cause. How difficult is that for Egypt to keep the international community focused on Gaza while other regional tensions flare up?
Listen, I have been, maybe with you or with your colleagues on Nile TV and other channels, I have been just warning many times that, what is happening there is a part of a kind of vicious plan of Netanyahu in order to distract the whole world, the international community, from the reconstruction or going to the second phase of President Trump's declaration.
Yes.
So, and here you can just distinguish between, the fine diplomat of Egypt, which is maybe, the more proactive country that is aware of, the implications of disregarding, the reconstruction and moving forward in order to achieve peace, as was enshrined in President Trump's plan. So I think it's very timely now, because there are new developments are taking place. There are there is possible indications of a settlement of Iran war. So, and as well as the ceasefire that is applicable, at least partly, in Lebanon. So Egypt is elevating its pressure in order to bring the international community's attention again to the situation in Gaza, because, well, let's put it this way. Netanyahu's agenda is whatever we want. It's Greater Israel, is staying in power for as long as it takes. Whatever is in favor of peace in the region, it's against his agenda. I mean, and I think it should be very clear for our leaders and politicians in this regard. So it's very timely now that Egypt is not only involved in trying to activate the situation in Gaza, but also for attracting other parties, whether in Europe or even the United States, particularly after the visit of the Mr. Boulos, you know, the advisor to the president of the Middle East and Africa, that it's timely now to come back with full force in order to move to the reconstruction, which, you know, as we heard, that would cost billions of dollars. So it's not only that you take a decision, but you have to undertake a kind of mobilizing funds and promotion for funding, you know, this major strategic project, which is not only building walls and infrastructure, but it's restoring peace to Gaza as well as to the Palestinian cause altogether.
Yes, also, as we mentioned that the Minister called for the full implementation of all requirements of the second phase, as we know, of the U.S. peace plan from an operational standpoint. What are the most immediate hurdles to start this phase, in your point of view, Your Excellency?
What is what? Sorry, I didn't get it.
Yes, what are the most immediate steps to start this phase, the U.S. peace plan?
I think the whole international community recognizes that Egypt is the core of peacemaker or peacemaking in the region. So its voice, its efforts, its voice is heard. Its efforts are listened to and considered. So Egypt is now moving, not just a kind of reaction. Well, Egypt doesn't follow a kind of diplomacy that is a reactive one. It's a diplomacy which is being studied, you know, whether it's components, whether it's timing, whatever. So this is, I think, a kind of launching, without making big words or slogans.
Yes.
It's launching a new effort in order to restore the attention of the international community and put the pressure not only of Egypt but the whole international community, including the world, which is watching and following the efforts of Egypt.
Yes, for sure, Your Excellency. Also, the Minister has stressed the unhindered aid access. Despite the previous agreements, what are the specific obstacles currently preventing the volume of the aid required to enter Gaza in this stage?
As I said, you need a political will. You need a kind of unanimous or the majority of the international community in support, not only in terms of political support, but in what is most needed. Absolutely. Is, you know, that you need funding, fundraising for restoring life to Gaza. And I am not excluding the case that we may or might need to have a conference, international conference, in order to mobilize international funding for a huge process to reconstruct life and living to Gaza and to the people of Gaza, as well as to bring back the attention to the West Bank. They are too much interlinked, because if you can see what the Netanyahu's policy is undertaking, you know, attacks in Gaza, and the second day is in the West Bank.
Ambassador Raouf, Saad, thank you so much for your insightful information and your joining us in Cairo local time. Thank you so much, the former Assistant for the Foreign Minister.